Hello world, Wendy from Cali here, back with another mixed Manny chat. Manny Bingo is back. If you guys are part of Stacy Adams' Facebook group, you know that April through September we've got Manny Bingo. One of the bingo squares is pick a palette 1 through 175. And I certainly did that. It was the first one I knew I needed to reach out to Stacy for. And this is my palette. I'm loving the strawberries. Definitely the season for them. We've been eating a lot of them. The weather's been pretty hot here in SoCal. However, today's been really gloomy. So this storm cloud is the color that I've got for the gray. I've got olive branch for the green. I've got Let Freedom Bling. I thought I picked that off. And then I've got Leftover Bad Blood and Giza Sands. Giza Sands is not as close in certain angles as I would hope for it to be, but the way I'm going to use them as tips on my nails will kind of cover for that. So let's get started, shall we? Alright, lots going on. We had a humongous project yesterday that needed to go out at work. Actually, work yesterday was crazy insane. We had 3 projects total going out, and sometimes I feel like we live in a sim, and usually when it's going to be a super busy day at work, it means that we are going to get lots of phone calls. And yesterday did not disappoint in the whole what was expected. And today did not disappoint either in what was expected, because literally usually the day after we have a big rush of projects going out, it's like dead silent the next day. So today, very minimal phone calls. Very strange. Don't know how that works, but it is what it is. And it was how it worked. But on top of working crazy hours to try and get the projects out on time, I also got to spend some time with the fam at Universal Studios Hollywood. So for those who know, we have a season pass, annual pass I should say, just for the year through to like beginning or mid-August is when the pass expires. Originally my significant other, Panda Bear, and I were going to go on a trip to the East Coast to do like a pizza tour, because he was kind of like super obsessing over pizza, and especially East Coast pizza, very specifically New Haven style pizza, and also New York pizza. But instead of doing that for our 10-year anniversary, we decided that, hey, let's actually do something where the whole family, so Panda Bear's sister, Mama Carla, and her kiddos, and her boyfriend, and his kiddo, could all enjoy for the whole year. So, cause for us to spend more quality family time. So, we hadn't had a chance to use the pass since we went for the youngest one, Amalika's birthday, back in October. Actually, you know what? We might have gone one more time, and I can't remember when, but I distinctly remember Grinchmas. So it's been a while though. We hadn't gone in a while, and we just finished homeschooling for the second quarter. So the reward was for the whole fam to go to Universal Studios. So we did that for Sunday Fun Day, And it was a really chill day because we didn't arrive at the park until much later. We decided to meet up around 11, and then we got to the park and got situated. I think it was like around noontime, and the park closed at 7 that day. So we were able to kind of enjoy the park. We did a few rides. What did we do? Jurassic World ride. We didn't actually get that wet. We did the Simpsons ride, knowing that the Simpsons ride is likely going to be taken out eventually and replaced with something else. Not sure when, but the rumor is that that's going to happen. So we were able to enjoy that. And surprisingly, on a Sunday, it was not very busy. The only ride that had like super long wait was, well, 2 rides. The Secret Life of Pets ride, which we ended up not being able to make it to because just timing. And the Super Mario Kart, Mario Bowser's Challenge. Oop, that one's stuck. I'm not going to be able to get that one out. We'll just leave it. But we were able to enjoy, well, Panda Bear and I took a break as far as rides go for the last one, which was the Minions ride. And the family went and did that one. We had one of those like priority passes because Malika wasn't tall enough the last time we went to the park to ride the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey ride. And this time around, she was tall enough. But when we got on the ride, we got stuck. Not a fun thing to happen, especially when it's, you know, the kids' first time on the ride. I think we were stuck for maybe, it was definitely less than 20 minutes. It might have been like 12 or 15 minutes we were stuck on that ride. But we were stuck right in front of a Dementor. So if you have read the Harry Potter books, or if you have seen the movies, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, let's just say they look like death personified if it was met with a ghost. So very fluid and flowy kind of feel, but all super dark and death-like. So we were stuck in front of one of those in the dark for a little while. And at first it was funny. The girls were like kind of laughing about it, and they were singing songs and whatever. But then the lights came on and then went out again, and we were still not moving. And then it got a little bit stressful because we didn't know how long we would be stuck. So it was one of those experiences that you really don't want to experience, but we did. And they gave us a $10 food voucher and one of those priority passes. And so, of course, we used it on the Minions for the kiddos. But, yeah. The kids also, the girls at least, rode on the Flight of the Hippogriff, which is the other ride over at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And where did we eat? We originally had planned to go eat at Krusty Burger, but we ended up not eating there. We ended up eating at Jurassic Cafe because it was convenient. It was right there. And food wasn't bad. I'm surprised it has much lower ratings on Yelp than it, you know, I was actually pleasantly surprised. It's pretty good. Well, at least what I ordered. The chicken tenders I can recommend for sure. The fish sandwich there was just so I wouldn't recommend that. I didn't taste much of the other foods, but the kids seemed to enjoy the cheeseburgers, and yeah, so it was a good time overall. I would recommend it if you're in the area and you're looking for something to eat. There's decent amount of seating, and it's literally right near the restrooms. If you have little kids that have overactive bladders, such as our little Amalika, you would not have any trouble keeping your table if you've got 2 adults there, and taking the kids to the restroom and back without any issues. So yeah, but all of the kids, even Benjamin, ended up with a snowy owl, an interactive snowy owl from the Owl Post in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and they are so adorable. If you haven't seen them, they're little owls that they move their heads, they make noise, they're sound activated, so it's like when you're talking with them, they move. It's just too cute, like way too cute. Ooh, that looks way too nude for my taste there, so I'm going to add some gray to it, because I decided that does not look good as a tip right there. It just looks weird. So let me add some gray, and I'm making this up as I go because I had a vision in my head, but it's not quite, at least that Giza Sands is not quite what I had hoped it would look like. So let's gray it out with some storm cloud. That's a little better. I know, you're probably looking at that strip and going, oh my god, you're wasting so much of it. But you know what? I don't really have the patience to try and save it, to reuse and all of that. So I'm just going to do it like that. And I'm going to add a little red at the end too, so then it's like a 3-layer. I think that would look really cool. So let's get that added on really quick here. But yeah, Sunday fun day, really awesome time. Otherwise, I was literally working the whole weekend. I worked most of my Saturday and early in the morning Sunday when I woke up. Before we went to Universal Studios, I was working up until we left the house for the day. So needless to say, Monday rolled around and I had a really long day at the office. I was completely beat, like no other. So I am glad that today was not a long day. What we did get to do today, though, and I don't want to jinx it, but my Aunt Millie, which is my aunt on my paternal side, my pop's younger sister, wants to own an investment property, a rental property, where Mama Carla and her fam can live. So rather than pay a stranger rent, why not pay family rent? So the house that she put a bid on is literally 2 doors down from where I'm at. And today we got to take 2 of the girls, 2 of our nieces, to go check out the place. The owner of the house is still making some fixes to the place. So he was there, as well as the selling agent and the real estate agent that is helping my aunt find her investment property. They were all there. Got to go after work with my pops, mom, Panda Bear, and the 2 nieces, and we just kind of toured the house again, let the girls look around. If and when the house becomes my aunt's property, they will be living in that house, and so we were looking at the different rooms. The 2 girls actually want the same bedroom. That obviously did not work out. That one stuck to the plastic, so let's try again. See if this one might come off. The one problem with not having central air in my house is that these strips are left to whatever the environment is like, and usually it's humid and stuffy in the house. So color street nail strips should be kept at room temperature, which is 72 degrees. We are lucky if we get that in this house, even half the time that we're living in it. So, you know, it is what it is. But that just means that if I can't hoard sets, even though I do, I have way too many sets, but I won't ever want to. Okay, I wanted to actually put the strawberry. The heart is actually the strawberry in this mixed Manny here. And I've got the olive branch, and the crown is actually supposed to mimic the little green part of the strawberry there. So that was what I had wanted to do just on the one finger. So the rest of my fingers won't have strawberries because I just wanted the one little accent. But alright, let me crunch that down. I probably should put the crown down first now that I'm looking at it, but we will make it work because I'm gonna just cut it just a tiny bit so that it's not looking so much like a crown and it's more looking like the little edges of the strawberry there. But yeah, the 2 girls that got to see the house were basically in agreement in the sense that they both wanted the same room, which obviously is not going to happen. Only one of them can get that room. And surprisingly, the room that they like the most is the one that I like the least, which it's weird how kids will see something one way and adults will see it another way. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just completely different than everybody else. I don't know. But needless to say, I was surprised by that, and it'll be interesting to see who ends up actually getting the room. But I wish that my strawberry was just a little bit tinier, but it's still kind of cute. But I do want, I'm gonna go back and forth with the gray and the red. So I'm gonna do that. Since the Giza Sands is not really looking that pretty, I have a feeling if I put Giza Sands over the red, it's not gonna look that pretty either. So I'm just gonna go with the gray and the red here. But ooh, and what I do need is I need one of these strips. I like having the nail sticks to remind me of all of the different sets that I've used. And so I sometimes forget to do that. So I gotta remember right now. And I don't mind if I use like one full strip to do it, because I have so many sets open for this mixed mani that it's like no biggie. Let me make a nail stick really quick of Storm Cloud. These are 3 sets that I've never used before, which is rare. I don't usually open up 3 full sets that are brand new. But my first Mani Bingo square to mark off the list felt like the right occasion to do it. So that's how we ended up here with so many different sets open, and 3 of them being brand new sets. Except this Let Freedom Bling is really doing a number on me here. It's really sticking to that plastic and falling apart. So fragile. But I think I could salvage it for using it on a nail stick. Surprisingly, Let Freedom Bling is not translucent. It has a backing, like a white backing. So that surprised me. I would have thought that it would have been translucent, but no. But the more I look at that strawberry, the more I'm like, yeah, it's so cute. I just wish it was a teeny bit smaller, but it was either this or I have another heart hole punch, but then that would have been super tiny. Then I wouldn't have any green that would fit. So anywho, okay, back to, I was gonna add gray. Do I want gray though? I don't think I have enough bad blood to do all of my nails with the bad blood tip, so I do want to actually use gray and gray is what I want to do. And this time I am going to try to use the strip and use it more than once. So let's do this. And then we're going to place it on the white backing. And then we're going to place it on the nail like so. Not as thick as I had done the red there, but that's okay. It really doesn't all have to match. Alright, break that down. We'll clean that up later. Let's punch another hole in this so I can get the thumb. Alright, let's see if that works. It's a little off at an angle there, but should be fine, especially if I lay it down at an angle. Oh yeah, that worked fine. There we go. Where's my orange stick? Really important tool that I wish Color Street would include with their sets, rather than the little nail file. I remember when I used to purchase Lily and Fox nail strips, they would come with like a tiny little file and an orange stick, and I feel like the orange stick is super helpful. But I know Color Street likes including that alcoholic nail prep pad, which is fine. I sometimes do use it, especially if I don't have a chance to wash my hands with Dawn dish soap before doing my nails. I will use the alcoholic prep pad. for that occasion, but yeah, it's not very often that I use it. So the orange stick though, always, 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 especially if I'm doing a mixed mani with lots of different sets being used, I like having the orange stick to help pick off the excess. Alright, and then let's get Bad Blood on this last finger here. Oop, that's stuck. I apologize if I'm bumping the camera stand, the ring light, and the camera's shaking. Since I'm not actually watching what I'm doing as I go, I don't really know like what you guys are all experiencing. Sometimes I will rewatch my mani chats because I treat them like vlogs, video logs, like kind of like my diary of what's going on in my life when I did a certain mani. And so yeah, but I hope everyone keeps their fingers crossed for us that my aunt successfully gets that house, and then Mama Carla and her fam could be neighbors, and then that would be less commuting for Panda for homeschooling and having to pick me up from the office. And on my day when I am doing homeschool lessons after work, we wouldn't have to travel so far and be out so late on Thursday evenings. So here's hoping, here's praying that it all goes as planned. But yeah, that was the mani that I wanted to do. Now I just need to replicate here, and what I plan on doing is, shoot, I don't think I can use a color that is not part of the palette. And so I was going to use High Society Stacy Sparkle Sauce, but I realized that it has some flecks of gold in it, and I don't think that's going to fit well with this theme here. But this is very close to silver, so I'm thinking I have another top coat that I could possibly use. But even so, I probably won't do that live with the top coats because then I have to wait for it to dry. So let me get the rest of this done. So let's work on... Did I use this? I didn't use the small one, did I? I think I used this one. Nope, I did use the small one because I used that one for the ring finger. So sometimes it's hard to remember what I did because I'm busy chit-chatting about life. And so when I'm doing my nails, I'm like, wait, hold on, what did I do? But I'm pretty sure I used the smallest one. Yep, that fits. Whew, good, because I would not have had enough bad blood to finish off this mani otherwise. Alright, and then I did Giza Sands. And I know I didn't use the littlest strips because I see them right here. Let's go ahead and put Giza Sands back into one of these because we'll seal them up later and try to use them for another mixed mani some other time if they're still good. Color Street says that it's a one-time use application product, and so you're not supposed to expect that it's going to work if you heat seal them. Some people throw them in the freezer. I live in a hoarder's house, so our house and our freezer are not acceptable places to be placing leftover strips. So I have a binder marked binder number 12 that has all of my leftover strips. And when you hear binder number 12, that is right. I have 12 binders, 3-ring binders full of Color Street strips. So like I said, I got a lot of sets. Not that, you know, I have the most sets. I know others that have way more sets than I do, but for someone that shouldn't be hoarding and collecting Color Street, I sure do have a pretty substantial stash of nails. And so we are out of the use it or lose it era, which again, if you're a part of Stacy's Facebook group, she has this period where we are using all of our leftovers, or at least we're encouraged to use all of our leftovers to create mixed manis, and then we can enter them in to try and win a prize. And so this season of Use It or Lose It, I actually did quite a lot of mixed manis with my old leftover sets. So thanks, Stacy, for encouraging us to do that, because I otherwise would end up just letting them sit there, and especially if my nieces don't want their nails done with Color Street, which lately they've just wanted to use regular nail polish if they even want their nails done at all. So the Color Street leftovers sometimes don't get the love and attention that they deserve, because why heat seal them and save them if we're not planning on actually using them and letting them end up, going stale or dried out. So yeah, this one would have counted for a Use It or Lose It, but it is the end. We are already moving on to Mani Bingo. And so I was very excited actually to get the palette that I did get, because I'm a big fan of strawberries, and I knew that when the image of a strawberry was included, that I was going to have a strawberry on my nails. So yeah. I think I used, this one is a little short, so I'm going to use this one for this one, and then that one for my pointer finger, or index finger for those that call it that. I call it pointer because I use it to point at a lot of things. Or I could call it the picker because I use it to pick at things, scratch at things, to pick off things. So whatever you end up calling it, that last bad blood strip will be used on that. Oh yeah. Likely my nail fee will be done with this hand this time. I'm usually using my right hand for my nail fees because I am naturally left-handed. So usually when I place strips down, I do a much better job on my right hand than I do on my left hand. But because I started with my right hand today, I got to adjust on the left hand. Anything that I saw was like a little bit like not fitting the mark. So you know how I did the crown first and then the heart, or I did the heart first and then the crown after. I'm going to do it in reverse on this hand because I just think that it will look better that way. And we will find out, won't we? Because that's what we're doing right now. So, making good use of the strip that I did not throw out. And we're going to lay down the crown first. But let's see. What else can I talk about? I did have a manager's dinner, or leadership team dinner, I should say. Last Wednesday, we went to Cafe Pinguini. It's an Italian restaurant in Playa del Rey, and I was able to eat a pretty decent meal that fit with the diet plan that Panda Bear has us on. So luckily I didn't go overboard, and it was actually a really good time, especially during such a crazy busy time at work. Being able to enjoy the company of my fellow leadership team and eat some fabulous food was a nice way to spend hump day evening last week. And I ended up making my coworker oh shoot, that got slapped down way sooner than I had anticipated, and I don't know if I can. Yep, nope. Alright, we're committed. We're throwing it down. Alright, so in looking at the difference, having the crown down second makes way more sense. So yeah. This might end up still being my Nelfie hand because this strawberry ended up looking better than this strawberry. But now you know. So if you're ever attempting to make a strawberry and you have the same hole punches, know that heart first, crown second. So, yeah. Anywho, alright, let's finish this up. Enough pausing on the strawberry not meeting my expectations. You know what? We are gonna fix it. I can't look at it like that. I just can't. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna do a second crown on top of that first crown because I can't stand the fact that the strawberry is not looking more strawberry like. It just looks like a heart. So let's cut this and try to match it up like we did with the other hand. If you've been on this channel for a while, you know I'm very particular. I mean, I always say at the end of the day, it's just nails, but OMG, like, that is gonna bother me. Like, I literally will take the mani off before it even sees the light of day if I don't fix that right now. So we are doing it. And if it's not perfectly aligned with the other green, it's okay because strawberries aren't perfect. Nothing in nature is perfect. A little bit of chaos won't hurt anybody. But just a little hint of chaos, not a lot. Yeah, much more to my liking there. And it'll definitely look even better once I put down a top coat. But I do want to let the strips like hang out for a little bit before I put a top coat on. I noticed that if I put on a top coat right away after I've placed the Color Street nails down. Sometimes there's shrinkage that occurs, and I definitely do not want that to happen. So, and I remember, I almost had forgotten, but I remembered, oh, let me do the bad blood first before I forget the bad blood, because I definitely will forget it. All right, so try to get that as close to the middle as I can. Throw that down. Get this on my pointer finger. Might have cut that down a little too far down, but it's all good. Yep. Whoa, that one slid around a little bit. It didn't want to stick. Why is it not wanting to stick? Okay, there it goes. It's on. Whew. I didn't have another strip, so if that one didn't work, we were in trouble. There we go. There we go. Now we can do Storm Cloud on the last two fingers. And then we are donezo. Poor Panda Bear. So he only had an hour of sleep last night. Luckily, he didn't have to drive me to the office. I worked remotely today. But he still had a lot of running around to do. And we finished second quarter of homeschooling, but today the kiddos, after having one day of rest from our Universal Studios trip, they were back to work with homeschool, and so Panda Bear was busy today. So when he finally made it into bed, he was in a world of hurt. Poor guy. So I made sure to massage his back because he was saying his back was locking up, and also massage his head because usually like the tension from a stressful day and lack of sleep is like you feel it in your brain. I feel like your brain feels like it's fried, and so massaging the head totally helps. And so now he is fast asleep, so hopefully he gets a good night's rest because he deserves it and he needs it. But I was debating whether or not I wanted to take off my previous Manny, because my other Manny was like the newest striped set. So the Trend Shop on Color Street has 3 like stripe inspired sets, and one of them is called Fast Forward, and it is so cute on. I totally did not want to take it off, except that my pointer finger, this one, had chipped, and this one always chips because the nails kind of like flaking off. So it's the nail, it's not the Color Street strips themselves, it's my actual nail, which I need to drink more water. It's a telltale sign. I need to drink more water, use more cuticle oil, and nourish my nails, because all my other nails are good, but this is again my picker finger, pointer finger, so I use it a lot to scratch at things, and it ends up making the nail very weak, and also because I'm not drinking enough water, so that will also not help the cause. But here we are. This is the final Manny, except that I will have probably a silver holographic top coat over it, so when you see it in the Nelfie, you'll likely see a little bit of shimmer to it, but I'm liking it a lot. And let me show you the palette once again before we sign out here. This is the palette. This is the end result. And the Manny Bingo, I need to print out a copy of it, but you'll see that pick a palette. That is the box that I will be marking off. So yeah, if you watched this all the way through and you listened to me ramble, thank you for watching, and I hope I entertained you for the time. And if you want to comment below what you're currently reading or the last movie you watched, that would be awesome. Otherwise, if you can't think of anything to comment, you can comment a strawberry, because that is what we put on my fingers today. Last parting words, I finally got to watch the old movie, The Shop Around the Corner, which is what You've Got Mail was based on. And The Shop Around the Corner, the movie, was just so cute. A little bit predictable in certain places, but I loved the ending. So if you like classic movies, romantic comedies, give it a try. You can go on Amazon and rent it for $3.99. If you have the no rush credits like I do on Amazon Prime, I had enough credits to watch the movie for free. So really enjoyed that movie a whole lot. And I'll leave you guys with that. So until next time, peace.